We'll still be feeling the chaos of the new moon in Scorpio and Mars opposite Pluto transit from last week, but this week brings in a layer of stability and imagination. Welcome back to the Hella Fluid Collective podcast, where I make astrology and resources for entrepreneurs and creatives. Today, we'll be talking about the astrology for the week of November 4th through November 10th. And luckily, it's a pretty low-key week. We only have 2 exact transits compared to last week where there were like a bajillion. As I mentioned, we're still going to be feeling the upheaval that came from last week into this week, but luckily we don't have too much going on, so we can settle into the energy that last week brought. As always, the transits are listed below in the description, so you don't need to keep track of what day they're happening. And if you want a written version of these interpretations, go ahead and head to my Instagram or my TikTok, where I have cute little graphics that explain what each transit is all about. Or if you want a little 90-second clip of this, you can find those over on those pages as well. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date and never miss a forecast. And the last 2 things is I have a resource for you, and it is over 120 content prompts, all based on the current zodiac season. For each sign, there's a bunch of questions that you can write. It'll help you create content that's more aligned with what your audience is into at this moment. And last but not least, as we're heading into the end of 2024, it would be a perfect time to get your year ahead reading for 2025. And of course, I'm going to offer you a discount for 20% off your reading. It's like $79 off, okay? That's a big deal. By using the code NOVEM2024. So make sure you get 20% off your reading and make sure you book by November 30th in order to get that discount. In the reading, I go over what the whole year is going to look for you, what your major themes are for the whole year, and a little breakdown of each month so that you can make some planning decisions about when it's time to create, when it's time to maybe take a vacation, when it's time to launch a new product, when it's time to, whatever your chart is saying. That's what we'll dive into. It's a personal reading for you. Everything I talk about here on the podcast is for the collective, so let's see what the astrology chart is saying for you. All right, let's get into the astrology of this week. So the first transit that happens this week is Monday, November 4th, and that's the Sun trine to Saturn. I love this transit, especially on a Monday and especially after a kind of destabilizing week before. This is that energy that's going to bring in a little bit of groundedness. It's going to tap us back into reality. And it's a trine, so it's very harmonious. It's going to bring a lot of confidence and willpower into our responsibilities and into the things that we need to do. It's going to enhance your productivity. It's going to make it easier to accomplish what matters most. Like, our self-discipline is on point. So it's a wonderful day for planning, for looking into your long-term goals, for understanding all the things that actually need to happen in order for you to achieve them. There is alignment with what you want to do and how you can get there. We have a willingness to put in the work. Okay, so it's a great day, great energy. Again, still gonna feel some triggers from Sunday, the Mars opposite Pluto transit, but this is gonna start to help us understand what to do with anything that got shaken up. For business owners, I would obviously use this energy to work on a more complex project or work on planning out your next chapter. What does that look like? It's all about building sustainable foundations for your future that really align with your purpose. Then the last transit of the week, yes, that's it, there's only 2, happens on Saturday, November 9th. So we kind of have the whole week to just let things settle in. I love that. So on Saturday, we have Venus square to Neptune. This isn't a horrible square. It's not a great square. Venus square Neptune. On one side of it, it might bring some frustration due to confusion or illusion in our relationships and our finances, therefore impacting our self-worth as well. We could be living in a fantasy about these things, like hello, a situationship, or kind of lying to ourselves about the way someone else is treating us, or lying to ourselves about our finances or our money securities. Or whether you're lying or not, you just might not be seeing the whole picture at this time. There's also going to be blurred boundaries when it comes to relationships, so take the extra step to communicate your boundaries or to clarify other people's boundaries so that there's no mishaps. This is not a great transit for staring in the mirror and making decisions about the way you look. So if you have issues with self-image, just don't spend too much time in the mirror on this day, and anything that comes up, don't embody it. Just be like, you know what, this is this transit, I'm just gonna let it pass. I have a feeling you're gonna feel a lot better about your body image in a few days. We're just gonna feel disillusioned, okay? You might see things that aren't actually there. You might think you look different than you actually do. So just let it go, if you can. This transit can also bring anxiety into your relationships and into your finances. So it's not necessarily a good day to sit down and figure out your finances, because you might be spiraling about what you don't have. If possible, just let it pass a little bit and plan on Monday. Monday's a little bit better for figuring things out. On a more positive side of this transit, it can bring some imagination and some creativity into the mix. So if you can, let your creativity be your guide later in the week. See what comes through rather than being in your head like we were in the beginning of the week. Really just kind of flow. I love the flow that Neptune can bring into things. And with Venus, there's that taste of creativity and beauty. And there's also creativity with Neptune as well. For me, I feel like Venus is part of what we create out of beauty and through what we value. And Neptune, I feel like, is like channeled creativity. So anything we're like, oh, I don't know where that came from, it just came to me, things like that. To me, that's Neptune. So even though this is a square, I feel like when these two are communicating, there is a window for us to create something we value and something channeled. So that's why I say really tap into your creative flow if you can on this day. As for business owners, embrace your creativity. Try not to make any impactful decisions around your finances on or around this day, because you just might not have all the information you need to make the right decision. And that's it for this week. It's a short and sweet one. I hope you have a beautiful week, tapping into the energies that came from last week and letting things settle. Until next time, stay hella fluid, y'all.